Welcome back everyone in the next lecture of the SQL. So up till the last lecture, we have talked about DCL, data control language. So we can say that we have learned the DDL, DCL, right? Now we'll talk about TCL, represents transaction control language. What do you mean by controlling the transaction? So first you have to understand what the transaction is. Okay, so let's look at example of the transaction. So transaction is nothing but it is a collection of DML statements which are logically related to each other. I'll repeat once again. A transaction is nothing but a DML statement which are logically related to each other. What do you mean by the logically related? We know that SQL is a interpreter based language. So we can what the transaction is, as we have discussed, that it is a collection of DML statement which are logically connected to each other. Now, what do you mean by the logically connected? Okay, understand with an example here. Just 1 second. Okay, so I'm showing you here one Excel sheet just to make you understand what the transaction is. Let's assume that we have one table here. This table is yours. So let's make a table this. Okay, this is your table. So we can call it as in which we have a balance and date. Let's say this. And you have a balance of 1,000 rupees. Okay, so I'm not putting a date, assuming it's 1,000 rupees. Same way, we have another table, and that is, let's say it's a friend. Okay. Same thing we have it here, date and balance. Now, your friend has a balance of 1 lakh rupees. Okay. Assuming that your friend wants to transfer the money to you. So in that case, his table should be affected. Plus, your table should be affected. Now, when a money get transferred from here to here, actually what happens? Assuming that he's transferring the 20,000 to you. So for that purpose, can we say one update is required here? Yes. What will be that? Update friend set balance equal to balance minus 20,000. Okay, so this is the one statement. This statement make this amount as 80,000. Okay, but this statement will not affect this table. For this table, we have to have another statement, update you set balance equal to balance plus 20,000. This statement make this 1,000 as 21,000. I hope this scenario is clear. Now, in this scenario, for transferring the money from friends to you, it required the two statements. Now, these two statements, or we can say combination of these two statements, is a one transaction. Correct? Even though there are the two statements, but it is only the one transaction. And hence, each statement execute independently. Chances are there that this execute and this fails. In that case, this will be the 80,000, but this will remain 1,000. Can we call it as a complete transaction? No. Because transaction means his money should be deducted and your money should be increased. But here, one statement executed, one fails. So in that case, it is only 1,000, but iska paisa kam ho gaya. It is possible vice versa. This execute, so this become the 21,000, and this fails, so this will remain the 1 lakh. Correct? So that's why whenever we talk about a transaction, we have to follow some properties of the transaction. And those properties are called as asset property. I'm sure everybody has heard the word asset. So asset is nothing but which is a property of a transaction. It is an abbreviation of 4 character ACID, asset. Here A represent atomicity. So property of transaction says that a transaction consists of many steps. In our case, the example what we have taken, in that there are 2 steps. One update in friends table, one update in your table. So atomicity says that when all the step in transaction get completed, it will get reflected in DB. जब सब कुछ कंप्लीट हो जाए तभी ही फ्रेंड का 80 और आपका 21 रिफ्लेक्ट होना चाहिए. अगर उनमें से एक भी स्टेप फेल हो जाए, so it says that if any step fails, entire transaction should be rolled back. What's the meaning of the rolled back? अगर आपके स्टेप में एक स्टेप फेल हो गया तो जो कंप्लीट हुए हैं वो भी सब कुछ रिवर्स हो जाना चाहिए. That's called atomicity. Very simple. Then C. C represent consistency. Now, what is a consistency? It says that database move from one consistent state to another if transaction is succeeds. अगर पूरा transaction complete हुआ, then it should move from one consistent state to another consistent state. Otherwise, it should remain in original state अगर आपका transaction fail हो गया. Simple, we have seen that कि अगर उसके 1 लाख के 80 हो गए और आपका 1021 नहीं हुआ, उस केस में उसका 80 भी वापस 1 लाख होना चाहिए. That is a consistency. Very simple. Third is a isolation. Every transaction must act as that it is the only transaction in the system. That means one transaction should not affect another transaction. Very simple. That's called isolation. Fourth thing is called durability. Durability says that once transaction completed, then whichever rows got affected with that transaction must immediately available to another transaction. So that is a ACID: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So simple. Now this is a theoretical. How this practical works? So simply one thing is clear, that a transaction is a combination of certain DML statement. What is a DML statement? Data manipulation statement. So they are the only three: insert, update, and delete. That is only manipulating the data. So a series of DML statements which are logically related to each other considered as transaction. And TCL is for controlling that transaction. And how it should be controlled? According to the property of transaction, and that property is called asset. Very simple. Now, how do we control? So for controlling this, we have two commands. First, commit. Second, rollback. So understand one thing. What is a commit? Commit is nothing but save the work what you have done. And rollback is reverse the work what you have done. Commit and rollback. Now, one thing has to be clear in the mind, that each and every DML statement which is not supported by commit is inconsistent. Simple, that is not saved. If you want to understand, you can just visualize your Word document. In the Word document, we have two things. One is the undo and one is the save. What does the undo does? What you have done, that is reversed. And save is nothing but what you have done, it is completed. Simple. So commit is committing the work done, and rollback is reversing the work done. That's called as a commit and rollback. Now understand here. Let's come here. Okay, so we'll just cancel it. We have logged in as a user 21, so we'll log out. Okay, so we'll log in again, but this time we will log in with workspace as HR. Okay, so earlier it was a user 21, now it's a HR. Now I go to the SQL workshop, SQL commands. If I see the records in our table, select star from students 2021. Now here we can see the records. 6 records are there. Now it's a question that just now we have learned that until it is not supported by commit, they are not saved. Then how it is saved from the day one up till here? So simply because of this auto commit. So Apex or Application Express has a button called as auto commit. But usually when we use our SQL statement in our programs, there is nothing called as auto commit. It has to be supported. So now I have removed the auto commit. Very simple. Now let me insert one record. So here I say that insert into students 2021 values. Let's insert another record. So I give the roll number as 7, name Ashok, age 21, gender M, date of birth we'll keep a blank, and contact also we'll keep a blank. So let's insert a record. So we have inserted a record, but this time auto commit is not ticked. So we'll check the record. Here I can see the Ashok. So whenever you insert a record, that record, or you can say whenever we perform a DML statement, those records are locked until you are not committing or you are not rollback. So commit and rollback release the lock. Okay. Now understand with a little detailed manner. I'm opening the another session as well here. Hold a minute. I see the share. Just 1 second, I'm just adjusting the screen. I'm sure you are able to see both the screen here. Here also, we will connect as HR. Simple. So can we say now, here also we have connected with the HR. Here also we are connecting with the HR. And here we'll see the same data. Select star from students 2021. You can see the difference. Here you are able to see the Ashok, but यहाँ पे अशोक नहीं दिख रहा है. Reason is here Ashok is not yet committed. Hence it is not committed. That record is available in the table, but it is locked. And lock are of two types. One is exclusive and one is a shared. Exclusive lock means what? That is not available to read as well as write. So Ashok is not available here. अब Ashok कब available होगा? When I'll use a commit. So I'm using a commit here. Statement processed. Now here, if I check the record, Ashok is there. This is called a durability. As soon as transaction is completed, when you say transaction is completed, when you commit the transaction, it is considered as it is committed. Simple. So it is available here. Very simple. Now let's say I make certain changes. I say update students, update students 2021, set age equal to age plus 5, where roll number equal to, let's say we'll make a change of Ria. So Ria का roll number 4. Okay, so now I am updating the Ria's age. So after this age, current age of Ria is 25, adding plus 5, so it will become the updated. Now check the record. What is the Ria's age now? 30. But if I check the record here and I say select star from this, here the Ria is 25. Reason is because of 20 updating, we have not yet committed. तो जब तक हमने commit नहीं किया, that is inconsistent data which is not available to other users. So what we have talked about? Atomicity. Atomicity is either all or none. How do you manage the atomicity? With the help of commit or rollback. जब तक आपके सारे स्टेटमेंट कंप्लीट नहीं हो जाते, तब तक आपको कमिट यूज नहीं करना चाहिए. That is atomicity. Second is called as a consistency. Inconsistent data should not be available to another transaction. Now here, Ria के लिए 30 वाली age available नहीं है. What if I make a update here? I say update students 2021 set age equal to age plus 5, where roll number equal to 4. So I am changing the age of Ria. But from this session, what will be the age after the statement? 30 plus 5 or 25 plus 5? Answer is, it will, okay, I have made an error here. So the answer is, it will not updated until that record is either committed or rollback. Very simple here. अब वो यहाँ पे कर्सर ब्लिंक करता ही रहेगा जब तक यहाँ से कमिट या रोल बैक नहीं करते हैं. रीजन इज record of Ria is a part of transition in another session, and that is not yet committed or not rolled back. So in that case, simply जब तक वहां से commit या roll back नहीं होता है, वो lock रहेगा. अब lock release कब होता है? Lock will release with the command commit or rollback. If I use a commit, then new value will be released. That means 30 is a new value that will be released. If I use a rollback, original value will be released. Can I say this is the original value 25? When commit के बाद ये release हुआ तो 30 के ऊपर 5 ऐड होगा और rollback से release हुआ तो 25 पे 5 ऐड होगा. Okay, so this time we'll do one thing. We will use a rollback. What does the rollback does? ये जो आपने update किया है, that will be cancelled. As soon as I have rolled back here, यहाँ पे, as soon as I have rolled back here, in this one row is updated. Now here it was a 25. It will add 25 plus 5, that's 30. But now if you check here, it is a 25. So this way, a transaction is keep on managing with the help of logs. So we can say consistency is managed with the help of logs. Very simple. Okay. Then simply, can we say commit is clear to everyone? Rollback is also clear to everyone. Now assume that, okay, we'll stop this. We'll go to the this. Now let's say I'm using certain DMLs. Insert, update, delete, insert, delete. Now let's say this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 statements are part of one transaction. Okay. Now if I use a commit, what will be done? All this will get committed. Very simple. What if I say the rollback? Now, this rollback is done after the commit. So this rollback has a reach up till this commit only. तो ये इसमें से कुछ भी reverse नहीं करेगा. But instead of commit, if I use the rollback, what will happen? All this will cancel. All this will be the cancelled. So one thing should be clear, that rollback is reversing everything up till the last commit. Let's say I'm doing it here. Insert, update, commit, insert, delete. And then I'm using a rollback. अब ये rollback कहाँ तक जाएगा? यहाँ तक. ये दोनों रिवर्स होंगे, लेकिन इसके ऊपर के रिवर्स नहीं होंगे. वेरी सिंपल. सो कमिट करने के बाद जितना भी ट्रांजैक्शन होता है, सारा ट्रांजैक्शन रोल बैक होगा. So commit is committing everything up till that point, and rollback is reversing up till the last commit. Clear? This always should be clear in your mind. Now, one simple question, that let's say I have a this is a my transaction which consists of so many things. And here if I use a rollback, what will happen? Can I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, everything will get cancelled? But according to me, everything is correct. Only this delete is done by mistake. If this delete is done by mistake, but if I use a rollback, everything will be rolled back. ये पूरा का पूरा मुझे वापस करना पड़ेगा. That may not be feasible sometime. So for that, we have a third command, and that command is called as save point. That is called as a save point. What is a save point? Save point is a point which is for temporary rollback. You have to create a save points, and you can use that save point for temporary rollback. Now, let's say here, sorry. Okay, give me a second. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3, all these are my point of transaction. Here I create save point 1. Here I create save point 2. And here I create a save point 3. And now if I'm using a rollback, simple rollback, it will reverse everything. But if I say rollback to save point 3, so now this will roll back up till here. मतलब इसके बाद का सब कुछ रिवर्स हो जाएगा. Delete will reverse, update will reverse, but this will remain intact. Simple. That's the benefit of save point. So now when we talk about a save point, simply save point is a temporary point for temporary rollback. Now one thing, whenever you use a save point along with the rollback, then lock never get released. That time lock never get released. That should be clear. When we are using a complete rollback, lock is getting released. Commit, lock is getting the released. But rollback with a save point, lock does not get released. So basically, three commands are used in TCL. One, commit, which commit everything up till that point. Second, rollback, which roll back up till the last commit. And third is called a save point, which identify a point in a transaction to which you can temporarily roll back. Understand here. Now let's say this is my transaction. Insert, update, insert, delete. Here I have created save point A. Here I have created a save point B. If I use a rollback till save point B, then B के बाद हमने क्या किया है? Delete. So delete will cancel. If I say roll back to save point A and update, insert or delete will cancel. But if I use only rollback, everything will get cancelled. So simple here. So save point always help you to roll back up till the specific point instead of entire rollback. Very simple here. Now certain times we can say implicit transaction processing is done. What is an implicit transaction processing? That means आपने commit नहीं किया फिर भी commit होगा. That is called the implicit transaction processing or auto commit. It happens in two cases. One, if you execute a DDL statement, that time DDL statements are implicitly committed. So whenever it is implicitly committed, then automatically that will get committed and everything will get saved. Or you execute a DCL command. What a DCL command is? Grant and revoke. A third thing, normal exit from SQL plus. SQL plus से अगर आप without commit use किए normally exit होते हो, that will commit everything and out from that. Simple here. Now कुछ जगह पे auto rollback भी होता है. So auto rollback कहाँ होता है? When abnormal termination of SQL plus or system failure. आपका machine अगर restart हो जाए, in that case it will be automatically terminate. Very simple here. So simply we can say that आपके ट्रांजैक्शन में DDL स्टेटमेंट नहीं होनी चाहिए, TCL स्टेटमेंट नहीं होनी चाहिए, and if you are working with SQL plus, you should be normally exiting from the SQL plus. So simple. I hope it is clear what the TCL is. TCL is nothing but a transaction control language. So we can say that now we know the DDL, we know the TCL, we know the TCL as well. So in the DDL, what are the commands to be majorly remembered? Create, alter, drop. In the DCL, grant, revoke. And in the TCL, commit, roll back, and save point. Very simple here. Now we'll talk about the DML. What is the DML? Data Manipulation Language. अब तक इतना काम करते करते आपको समझ में आ गया होगा कि what is a DML. DML is a data manipulation language, and manipulation means changes. So in the existing table, we can make a changes in the data. So data can be changed in a 3 ways: either inserting a new record, or changing the value of existing record, or deleting the existing record. So in the DML, there are only 3 major things: insert, update, and delete. Very simple. So we'll talk about all 3: insert, update, and delete in a little bit detailed form. So simple. So first thing is called an insert. Now insert is a statement which is allowing you to insert a row in the table. One thing to be remembered about the insert is insert deal with entire row at a time. That means you have to insert a complete row. Okay, we'll understand with an example here. Okay, so again, I'm using the auto commit, and then we have already inserted, but still I'll show you the statement. Insert has a 2 clauses. First is insert int. This is called a first clause. In this clause, you have to use the name of the table in which you are inserting a records. So we say students 2021. Second clause is called a values. And in this clause, you have to provide a value for each available column in the table. So in our table, we have a roll number, name, age, gender, date of birth, and contact. So providing the value has a simple rule. If your value or a column is accepting a numeric value, then you have to provide without any quotes. First is a roll number. Can I say roll number is a numeric value? So you have to just give a roll number without any quotes. So we give 8. Then it should be separated by comma. Name. Name is not a numeric value, it's a character value. So whatever the character value is, that you have to give in a single quote. Within a single quote, you have to provide the value. So let's say now we are providing the value as Meena. Simple. Third is a age. Age is numeric. So again, you can give without any quotes. Gender is a character. So again, you have to give in a quote. Yes. Now, date of birth. Can we say it is a date of birth is a date, neither a number nor a character. So date has a three things: date, month, year. Plus month could be in a spelling, month could be in a number. So in which format the date should be given? So it's keep on differing based on the tool what you are using. Currently we are using the Apex. So it will accept according to the Apex. If you use SQL Plus, it will accept the format according to the SQL Plus. But how we will come to know? So simply you have to do one thing. You have to retrieve the current date. I say here, select sys date. Sys date is nothing but a system date from dual. What the dual is, that we'll discuss afterwards, and we'll execute. You get a date. Now, in which format you have received the date, in the same format it will accept. So what is that? 7/9/2021. So today is the 9th July. So it is in the format of MMDDYY. So you have to give in the MMDDYY. So you have to first provide the month, let's say the 02, then date, let's say the 15, then year, 17 years back means 2004. Simple. Now, last is called as contact. Now let's say I don't want to give a value for contact and I want to execute this much. You cannot. You have to provide a value for each available columns in the table. So how do you provide the value? I don't have a value. So that means you are providing an unknown value, null value. So null can be given in a two ways. One, as a empty. Open the quote, close the quote. Second, you can use a keyword null. Simple here. Now if I execute, it is accepted. And if I check the record now, students 2021. We can see that what record we have inserted, Meena. Date is there, contact is null. Now there's a second way of inserting a record. Second way of inserting a record is, let's say I'm having a n number of columns here. But major things I have to give as a roll number, name, gender. तीन ही चीजें मुझे देनी है, बाकी चीजें मुझे कंपल्शन नहीं है. In that case, everywhere I have to use a null, 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 null. Instead of that, you can simply use in a this way. You can say insert into students 2021. Before the values, choose the column for which you want to provide a value. I want to provide a value as a name, then gender, then roll number. Now, if you notice here, actual first column is a roll number, but I have chosen the name. So it doesn't make a difference which column you are choosing in which order. But when you provide the values, now the value should be provided not in actual order, but in the order in which you have chosen the column. So now first you have to provide a name. So name will be now here. What name we can use? We can use a name as Smita. Second, gender, so I can choose a F. Third, I am choosing a roll number, let's say the 8. Now, you are not allowed to give them values more than these three, because you have mentioned that you are giving the value for 3 columns. Very simple. So in this case, whichever column we have not chosen, those column will take default value. If you have provided any default value, that will be chosen. If you have not, then null is the default value. So let's insert this record. I got an error. Unique constraint rule number 8 is already there, so it is not accepting. So we'll make it a 9. Record is inserted. Now check the record. Where the Smita is, Smita. We don't have any default values, so Smita F rest is null. Clear? So that is an insert. After the insert, next thing is called as an update. Let's say I want to change a value of some of the available column. So we can take a help of update. So I'll remove this first. So for that, you have to choose a statement called as update. Update has a 2 clauses. One is a update. Then you have to choose the table which you are updating. In our case, it is a students 2021. Second clause is called a set. Now, update is dealing with a column, not with a row. So you have to choose the column जिसकी वैल्यू आपको चेंज करनी है. Let's see here. स्मिता की हमने एज प्रोवाइड नहीं की है. So we want to change it from null to 22. So this is an age column. So we'll say set age. Then use an equal to operator and give the new value 22. Now I'm just removing the auto commit here. And if I execute, something is remaining from here. So you will see that it has updated the 9 rows. Everybody's age has become 22 because update has a property of dealing with entire column. So anyway, we have removed the auto commit, so we can roll back. Now if I check the record, you will see that it has reversed. Very simple. Now I'm taking it here. So always it should be used along with where. After the where, you have to give a condition, and that condition will satisfied on which row. That row will get updated. So we'll say where roll number equal to 9, because I know that roll number is a primary key which cannot be duplicated. So only one row will get updated. Simple here. That is a done. Now if we'll check it here, it is done. Smita's age has become 22. Simple. So update is also simple. Third thing is called as delete. What does the delete does? Delete is removing the row, but be careful. Delete is also deleting all the rows. Simple. So always delete has to be used along with where clause. So you have to say here delete from and give the table name students 2021. If I execute this, it will remove all the rows from the table. So always we have to use along with where clause. Let's say I don't want the XYZ, so I'll say where roll number equal to 6. One row is deleted. Very simple, that has gone. So that's an insert, update, and delete. These three things is called a DML, is a data manipulation language. Simple. So basic syntax of that is insert into values, update table name, set new value, delete from table. So here we have finished with DML.